Hey there, guys. I'm here to show you guys some of my, very old DVDs, like mostly kids' films, for the most part. Now, this is not my, entire collection, so be aware of that. This is definitely not my entire collection. I have many more old DVDs around the house. I just don't know where they are. So, yeah, so this is not my entire collection. Well, these are pretty much all, kids' films that I enjoyed as a kid that I've had for years, so I'm just going to show them off here. I don't know why, but I'm just going to show you them anyway. First one is The Great Mouse Detective, by Walt Disney. Yeah, this is a pretty good animated film for what I remember. Not too bad, you know. It was definitely one of the more underrated Disney animated films ever, really. I don't really remember it too much, like I said, but it was pretty good from what I remember. And it's now available on Blu-ray now, so if you like Blu-ray, definitely check this one out, for sure. And then non-Disney films, we have DreamWorks films like Shrek. I remember seeing this in the movie theaters years ago, back in like 2001. I believe it's one of the first movies I ever saw in the theaters, besides the movie Returns and Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Yeah, you know, I pretty much enjoyed this movie. I like Shrek 2 more, you know, but I used to have Shrek 2 a long time ago on DVD. I just don't know where that is. But there's a Shrek box set, Blu-ray box set out now. You can get the entire set on Blu-ray now, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the Jim Carrey live-action movie, based on the 60s, animated version. If you haven't seen that one, the 1966 cartoon animated version. Yeah, I remember watching this on the VHS tape and just blowing it up, and I bought the DVD years later, and, you know, it's on Blu-ray now, and you can get this one on Blu-ray too, so that's pretty neat. And, you know, I had a lot of nostalgia with this movie right here. And another movie that I had kind of a little bit of nostalgia with, but, and you guys are probably going to laugh at this, but go ahead, I don't care. Yes, this movie. Aquamarine, I know. This is a very girly movie that I kind of enjoyed as a kid, you know. It's not really, I mean, I probably guess you can call it a kid's movie. You can probably call it that, but it's really like more of like a girly type of romantic comedy, you know. But, you know, it's about this mermaid, of course, and she wants to like fit in with the with the humans and everything, but, you know, she wants to like fit in with the normal human life instead of like being underwater. But, you know, Sarah Paxton was actually pretty hot in this, actually. But those were some pretty good memories from what I remember. And for some reason I have another copy of it. I don't know why. It's another copy of Aquamarine. I don't know why I have two copies of it, but, you know, I have one black case copy and another, I'll just show you the sky blue case copy. Stuart Little 2. I remember seeing this in the theaters way back in the day. I remember really liking it a lot. Now, seen the first Stuart Little and really liked it. I used to have the DVD version and the VHS version, and you can get these both on Blu-ray now too, for those wondering. But yeah, I mean, had a lot of great nostalgia with Stuart Little 2, I really enjoyed the first one too as well. Very good live action version of the like a first cartoon that came out years ago. I mean, like decades ago, really now. So here's the one that well, I don't really remember too much about. It's called Spirit. It's like an animated film by DreamWorks. Uh, yeah, this movie was not too bad of one, like from what I remember. Now, back in the day, I've seen a lot of kids movies in theaters, and this was one of them. This came out in like 2002, so I was about 6 when it came out. Um, yeah, this was one of the ones I saw in theaters, and kind of enjoyed, but don't really know too much about it. And in fact, I don't think I've seen it ever since I had the DVD when I was a kid. So I don't think I've ever seen it ever since then. So I probably might go back to it just to check it out, just to see how good it is still. And maybe it's dated or maybe it's not dated. I'm not quite sure on that. So I'm not 100% on that, but I'm hoping that it's pretty good from what I remember. Probably the best animated film ever, in my opinion. I mean, this is like a very underrated. I mean, just extremely underrated animated film that's really unappreciated, and it's called Ants. I mean, this is like pure awesomeness, man. I mean, I've never seen an animated film like this before, ever, man. It's just so good. It's a really good movie. I really love it a lot. I loved it as a kid. I've seen the VHS tape like over 20 times growing up. I mean, it's a very mature, animated film if you really think about it, because there's a lot of adult humor in here. I mean, it's like, and still to this day, I can still go back and watch this and just have goosebumps watching it, because it's very intense. It's a very intense animated film, and believe it or not, this was actually DreamWorks' first film first animated film. This was their first project they ever did, and which no one ever talks about. They all talk about Bugs Life, which was a Disney Pixar film. But this was DreamWorks' first CGI animated film ever. This was their first project, and no one ever talks about it but me. But and it's really a shame how this one video game called DreamWorks Kart Racing does not have Z or even Princess Bella or even Weaver or even the General or even Barbados or Cutter or any of the characters from this film is not in. I mean, it really upsets me, because this is like one of the the most unappreciated animated films ever. I mean, it's so great. You have to check it out. You have to watch it. Please watch this film. You'll be so amazed by it. Well, you probably won't be amazed by it because it's kind of dated now, but but I mean, still to this day, it looks good. The animation still looks great. I'm really surprised. Even like for a 1998 film, it looks great still. And unfortunately, since it failed in the box office, you're probably never going to see a Blu-ray version of this movie, because it failed in the box office, which was very unfortunate. Well, next one. This is and now I had this DVD for very long. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. Yeah, this is a childhood favorite of mine. Yeah. So this film I had like a lot of nostalgia with, because I've seen the VHS tape and this DVD like so many times. And I believe, well, I don't think it's on Blu-ray, but you can probably check that out if it is on Blu-ray. So, but this, it's really beat up, as you can see. It's very beat up, and it's one of those flap cases, those snap cases where you open it up like this and you snap it back in place like that. So, yeah, good times, a lot of fun. Now, this isn't really considered a kid's film, but I saw it as a kid in the theaters, and that's the Simpsons movie. I liked the TV show; it was pretty good, but the Simpsons movie was pretty good as well. This isn't really considered a kid's film, because there is one scene in particular that really doesn't represent little kids' movies. If you know what I'm talking about, it's the one scene with Bart, showing his private parts, riding on a skateboard. Yeah, I remember watching that in theaters when I was about 11 years old, and yeah, that was gold. That just man, that was like a really great scene. You know, PG-13 too. I mean, like, yeah, PG-13. Yeah, so that was actually pretty funny. Got some more. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. This is the movie that was based off actually the TV show was actually based off of this movie right here. You know, this is what inspired the TV show, pretty much. And yeah, I enjoyed this. You know, I like the Jimmy Neutron show as well. So yeah, this movie was actually pretty damn good, for what I remember. And then you have Kangaroo Jack. Saw this in the theater too. I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of kids' movies in theaters back when I was growing up, and this was one of them. So yeah, Kangaroo Jack. Don't really have much to say about that one because I don't really remember it too much. A Very Merry Christmas, sing-along songs. Yeah, this is what I used to watch like all the time, like during Christmas when I was a kid. So I kept it all these years, and you know it still holds up, I guess. Some more. Sinbad and the Legend of the Seven Seas. It has a really nice subcover here, and you take it off. It has the original cover on it, and yeah, this is the full screen version, which looks like. Looks really horrible on a Blu-ray player now, and it really looks bad as far as the video quality. But if you play it on an actual DVD player and on a standard def television, it looks fine. So I recommend doing that with all your old movies. When you're trying to watch like VHS and DVD, I recommend using a box television for these old DVDs and VHSs. But when it comes to Blu-ray, use high def. So, Monsters Inc. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, and yeah, really enjoy it. And one of the really good Disney Pixar films. Here we got Ice Age, which is pretty good. Remember seeing it as a kid when it came out. Let's see, got more here. Tarzan and Jane. I don't really remember those too much, but I have seen the original Tarzan film. If you don't remember the Disney animated Tarzan film, I enjoyed that one a little bit more than Tarzan and Jane, but I don't really remember this one too much. Like with all these movies, I don't really remember too much because I haven't seen them in years. Now these I remember clearly. Now these right here, I remember watching as a kid non-stop. Austin Powers' Spy Who Shagged Me, and The Master from Zero to Hero. This is these were just nostalgic memories right here. I mean, these were complete nostalgia right here. I mean, wow. I mean, I can remember these like instantly. I mean, I have clear memory of these right here. Just clear memory. Especially with The Mask, because I've seen that movie like countless times growing up, as well as Austin Powers' Spy Who Shagged Me. These are not really considered kids' films, but they're films I remember watching as a kid. So these are really good comedies that I really enjoy as a kid. And these are both on Blu-ray now too, if you're interested. So yes, they also have the flap cases too, if you're wondering. And I got a few more down here, and then I'll end this video. Got a few more down here. The Incredible Hulk animated series. I had this one ever since I was a kid too. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Pretty good. It's on Blu-ray now too, so look forward to that. Peter Pan and Return to Neverland. Yeah, Peter Pan Return to Neverland was actually pretty good, from what I remember. That's pretty good. Let's see. Tom and Jerry Whiskers Away. I don't. Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good edition of Tom and Jerry. It's pretty good, pretty nice edition. And Harry Potter and the Sorcerer. No, well, not Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter, in the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, and now these are not all. Well, I have many more kids films like all around my house, like many more old DVDs. Now, I do have some of these on Blu-ray actually. Now the ones I do have on Blu-ray is actually Austin Powers and The Mask. I have many others I have on Blu-ray too. So, oh yeah, and I also have The Grinch I have on Blu-ray, and I believe The Great Mouse Detective, and many others. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's my entire not my entire collection, but some of my older DVD kids films. So, hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you guys later.